Shall I clarify the timing? Tom Daniel was due for a sabbatical, a year sabbatical, an academic deal. You're familiar with that concept. And so he wanted to spend it as a Peace Corps physician. And Ron left in 68. I left in 69. But when Ron left, he was replaced by a guy named Bill Fox, Dr. Bill Fox, another lifelong friend, though not nearly as close as Ron. And Bill Fox then was there from 1968 to 1970. So we overlapped for about 9 months. And then Tom Daniel got permission from the Peace Corps to spend just 1 year rather than 2 on his sabbatical as a Peace Corps doc. Tom's an internist, pulmonologist, so he was quite capable of doing the full range. He wasn't just there for TB control. He was there to be a Peace Corps doc. So that's how it worked out. We were back in Cleveland for that first year before he then came to Bolivia for a year.
When did you hit the point at which you said this may be just too much? Did you hit that point where at a certain point when you realized what you were up against, did you ever say, I just don't know that I can do this? Did that happen?
No. No, there were 2 of us, so that was helpful. I wasn't on my own. And there was also Dave Danielson, so really there were 3 of us. And once Ron and I got over our shock at our own naivete, our lack of understanding of what it is that we were facing, once that came home to us, we just said we have to attack the problem. We need help. So let's get a consultant. Let's read up on TB. Let's start thinking this through and get somebody to help us say, yeah, you're on the right track or not.
One of the things that I found when I was doing work in the Bahamas is that people in an unfamiliar environment, especially that's hot and sunny, they can go a little nuts. Mm-hmm. They can lose some of their grounding as a centered human being. Did you see that at all with the volunteers, where you just saw that people under pressure, we'll take a break as she drinks here. When the tape's on, all I hear is the licking. Can't hear, it just overrides all the electronics, and all you hear is this wet slurping. And good girl.
Yeah. No, remember that we were in the mountains. So some of the volunteers that were working in the Beni region, the lower regions of the Yungas, were maybe at 3,000 feet. It was hot down there. But volunteers working at 4, 5, 6, 7,000 above, it's kind of like spring year-round. I mean,
okay.
It was warmer,
pretty nice,
and cooler, but there wasn't a whole lot of heat problems, except in a few sites where it was really warm. As you know, we saw emotional difficulties. We saw a couple of psychotic breaks. Yes, but those volunteers weren't in the Yungas. They were up on the Altiplano. Those volunteers, the stress created a psychotic break. It's something that we were told might happen, especially in young people in their 20s. And Ron and I each had to bring a volunteer like that back home. Get on a plane with
What
them,
kind of symptoms did they exhibit when they had their breakdown?
They were delusional. They were psychotic. They were delusional. And it was clear that they were disconnected from reality. As soon as the plane landed in the States, they were fine. I mean, they got we landed, we got them to the hospital, we got them, all the care they needed, but once they were back home, out of the stress area, that was the end of their Peace Corps career, but they were well, at least at that point.
Did you
Ron-
have other observations, Ardith?
Well, Ron brought a male back who had mental problems and was in need of being evacuated. But Bill's was a female, and consequently, in order to go to the bathrooms in an airport, he needed a female, so I came back with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an interesting experience because I'm not a medical person, but I could stay side by side with the female, and that helped.
Yeah,
Her.
it was very important.
Yeah.
Someone who was delusional, we're always concerned we get into an airport somewhere, because it's rare that we had a direct flight. It usually stops
Yeah.
along the way. And, decide they wanted to go to the bathroom, I couldn't necessarily go with them. And suppose they decided to split,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,